Now, didn't we just have an update? Well, yes, we did. But is that going to stop me from telling you what I think is coming in the next update? No. No, it won't. Hey everyone, what's happening? Lex back today for another Brawl Stars video, and today we are going to look into Brawl Stars past and present to see if we can predict the future and perhaps the next update. Before I get started, I'm going to be the very first to admit that this is probably very premature, but I'm seeing some things happening and I can't ignore the clues that are being given to us. So let's go through each clue, and I want you to follow along with me to see if you can come to the same conclusion that I am, or if you have some other idea, and if you do, be sure to comment down below with your theory. So let's start off with the present and work our way backwards to the inevitable conclusion of the next Brawl Stars update theme, as well as one big reason why I may be totally wrong. Yeah. Now, currently in Brawl Stars, we have gotten Terra's Bazaar back into the game. Now, if you'll remember, back in May of last year, Terra's Bazaar there was like a blinking light on the wall, and it was transmitting Morse code. Now, this was decoded to say WKBRL. Now, this was one of the turning points that legitimized the WKBRL live stream, which we have in turn found out that is completely Star Park Brawl Stars behind it. But anyway, that was back on April the 19th of last year, which in 9 days is going to be the 1-year anniversary to WKBRL. Is anything going to happen? Well, we'll find out. And then later on, we saw another Morse code with WKBRL in the Super City environment on top of one of the buildings. Now, fast forward back to today and the Terra's Bazaar that is now back into the game, and we have a new Morse code in Terra's Bazaar. Now, once you figure out this Morse code, all the dots and the dashes, it means H2O, which of course H2O is the chemical formula for water combining 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen atoms together. Okay, anyway, so water. Naturally, the first thing that comes to my mind is a water park. Now, we know that Brawl Stars is a theme park known as Star Park, as this was first originally discovered by Gamba over on Twitter. Now, it's a very common thing to have water rides or water attractions in larger theme parks. Things like large pools, slides, river rides, and so on. But is there any evidence that it was ever planned for Star Park? Well, actually, there is. First off, Ricochet on his unlock screen is described as a former pool bot. Now, we don't know if they're talking about pools like as in swimming or as in pool as in the game pool, but if we dig a little deeper, we're going to get more info. Now, you're all probably familiar with the investor video. Let's be real, it probably haunted your dreams just like it did mine. But in this investor video, there's a portion where the host is talking, and while he's walking, in the background, we see an illustration sitting on an easel, and to me, it looks just like a water park. It's got tubes for water rides. It looks like some sort of like weird mother bird feeding her babies, but they're just like spraying water, and then the entire thing is sitting in like one big pool. And of course, if it's in a large pool, then they need some sort of thing to take care of the pool, something like a pool bot. Now, aside from the very creepy bird feeding, I think we're going to be getting a water park themed environment and brawler in the next Brawl season, but there's even more evidence to support this, as well as one very big caveat to my theory. Anyways, first the evidence. Both Frank and Danny have mentioned the phrase "stay hydrated" on Twitter and even at the end of a Brawl Talk. The question is, are they actually hinting at something, or are they just wanting you to keep drinking your water? Now, that's a little ominous by itself, but it's kind of hard to speculate too much into that. But it gets even more interesting than that, because right now Supercell is holding a contest to get the best summertime themed skins for Nita, which, by the way, there's some pretty great ones there, so if you haven't seen those already, definitely go vote for your favorites. There's a lot of really cool skins in there. And then, perhaps the icing on the cake is this environment is sort of already in-game. Now, not only in the siege environment, you can see the wreckage of the broken water floats over by the spaceship, but also in one environment, you literally see the robots floating along in these rides. Yeah, they're already in game, and these aren't random. I mean, they got on a ride somewhere, and they've been floating past all of this. The water park already exists. We just haven't seen it yet. So let's put it all together. We've got Morse code about water. We've got developers telling us to stay hydrated, campaigns about summertime, illustrations of water parks in the official Star Park video, and actual floating rides currently shown in-game. So yeah, I think a water park is definitely coming, but what about a brawler for that environment? Well, once again, we need to look to the past. In the book, The Art of Supercell, there's a drawing that was done by Paul Chambers, who is the lead artist and the creator of all the Brawl Stars character. And this little drawing is pretty darn interesting. First off, a couple things about it. Clearly, it's like an aquatic character because of the fins and such, but it also, the gun that he's holding looks very much like Belle's gun that she has. And then the portable black hole little sketch reminds me of Terra's Super. Now, I don't think it's any surprise that Paul and or the team would take old sketches and some of the ideas from them and incorporate them into brawlers as they go along, but the main character himself right there, we've never seen him in game. But he has, or a similar version of him, been in an animation. Now, in October of 2019, the animation Mortis's Mortuary, we saw this little guy underneath the pier in the water. Now, we know some other brawlers that eventually came into the game were in this animation too, because it showed Ems kind of like peeking from behind a tree. She was in there. And of course, myself and pretty much every other YouTuber and fan noticed all of this as well. And we were speculating that both of these brawlers, both Ems and this little aquatic brawler, would end up making it into the game. Now, Ems did end up making it, but this other little guy did not. Now, about 9 months ago, Kairos thought that this brawler was going to be coming into the summer update of 2020, and he coined his name Gil, which is honestly a pretty cool name. I like the name. But as for the brawler, clearly he has never come into game. But nevertheless, that was a really solid guess, and I think that we can all agree that this brawler that was shown back in October eventually will come into the game, or at least it makes sense that it would be coming into game sometime. The question is, when? I think it's going to be this summer. However, there is one thing that's really got me worried, and that's pirates. What, you don't understand the okay. What I mean is that Brawl Stars always does something that we least expect. We were expecting some Christmas or winter themed update one Brawladays, and what did we get? What did they give us? Pirates. So while all of this fits together very nicely, perhaps it's too nicely. Perhaps it's just too perfect. And maybe that's exactly what Brawl Stars wants us to believe. The question is, what do you believe? Let me know in the comments down below. For now, I think that it definitely is a water park theme update with this little aquatic brawler coming this summer, but very, very, very early. As I continue to gather more information and more clues, I will be sure to update this video or, bring you guys all the new information. So be sure to stick around for that. But let me know your theories in the comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this speculation video. And as always, until next time, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out.